ஆழ்வார் எம்பெருமானார் ஜீயர் திருவடிகளே சரணம். ஜீயர் திருவடிகளே சரணம். Previously, we saw about Acharya-Shishya relationship and interactions. In continuation with that, let us see an important topic: how to gain knowledge. The proper relationship between Acharya and Shishya will naturally lead to knowledge gaining for the Shishya. Knowledge is very important because with knowledge we will know what to do and what not to do, and we will be able to conduct ourselves properly. True knowledge is known as Prama. Pramanam or scriptures are the source of true knowledge. So, we can gain true knowledge only from Shastram, scriptures. But even that, we cannot just read scriptures on our own and gain the knowledge properly. It has to be studied under the guidance of an Acharya who is known as Pramata. Because when one is under the guidance of an Acharya, the Acharya will reform the Shishya. Madhurakavi Alvar in his Kannanunchiruthambu Pasuram says, பயனன்றாகிலும் பாங்கல்லராகிலும் செயல் நன்றாக திருத்தி பணிகொள்வான். He says, Nammalvar reformed Madhurakavi Alvar and made him to live according to Shastra. This is known as Shiksha. Shiksha means reforming the disciple. Without this step, knowledge will not be complete in a disciple. Bhagavan Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Tadviddi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upatekshanti te jnanam jnaninaha tattvadarshinaha. He says, one should go and offer obeisances to a jnani who has seen the truth. One should serve the jnani who is the Acharya, and one should humbly put forth his questions to that Acharya, and that Acharya will answer those questions and clarify the doubts of the Shishya. The Acharya who gives knowledge is greatly glorified in our Sampradayam. Initially, after getting Panchasamskaram, Samashrayanam from the Acharya, one should officially start learning from that Acharya. One should pray and request the Acharya to teach the meanings of Tirumantram, Dvaya Mahamantram, Charma Shlokam. These three mantrams or rahasyams are imparted or instructed by the Acharya to the Shishya during Panchasamskaram. One should insist humbly and request the Acharya to teach the meanings, the basic meanings at least, for these rahasyams. Subsequently, one should visit the Acharya frequently and learn more about our Sat Sampradayam principles And one should not stop with that. One should continue to reach out to other acharyas and learn Sat Sampradayam principles. We need to see an example to understand this. Bhagavad Ramanuja had his Pancha Samskaram under Periyanambi Mahapurna. He learnt fundamental principles of our Sampradayam from Periyanambi, but he didn't stop with that. He continued to learn from Tirukoshtiur Nambi Goshti Purna, Tirumalai Andan Maladhara Swami, Tiruvaranga Perumal Arayar, Periya Tirumalai Nambi. All of these acharyas taught very vital principles of our Sampradayam to Bhagavad Ramanuja. And Bhagavad Ramanuja had equal reverence and respect towards all of these acharyas, starting with Periyanambi. By learning from multiple acharyas, one will gain great insights about our Sampradayam in different contexts. Ideally, one should learn important principles and immediately put the knowledge into practice as well. Everything may not be possible in one single day, but there should be a start and there should be step-by-step progress. Nammalvar says, Ariyakattu vallar vaitanavar. Those who learn the Pasurams, Thiruvaimozhi Pasurams, that is Ariya. Those who understand the meanings of the Thiruvaimozhi Pasurams, that is Kattu. And Vallar. Vallar means one who becomes an expert in practicing these principles which were learnt. Such person will be qualified to be called as Vaishnava. And only when we put things into practice, when we put the knowledge into practice, one qualifies to advise and teach others. Without serving the Acharya, without learning these principles, without putting these into practice, one will not have the maturity to teach and guide others. So it is very essential that one go through these processes under the guidance of a learned, authentic teacher, Acharya. At this point, one may have a question that I am unable to go and meet my Acharya frequently or any other Acharyas frequently. How will I learn? For this, one should consider seeking the permission of the Acharyas to see if they teach online, so that one can use the technology positively. If the Acharyas are willing to teach through alternate means, one should make use of that and gain knowledge. Isn't it better to learn with the permission of the Acharya through alternate means and gain knowledge rather than not gaining any knowledge at all? Hence, one should look at it with a positive outlook and learn knowledge, gain knowledge through alternate means which are allowed by the Acharyas. Now, just because one is learning through technology, let us say mobile phone or computer, still one should have the same reverence towards the Acharya, and one should learn as if he is sitting in front of the Acharya and learning directly. one should be very respectful towards the Acharya and the subject which he is learning, and learn with thorough sincerity. If there is a possibility to meet the Acharya and learn directly, one must do it. Alternate means are only for those who cannot do that. So we have seen some important aspects in gaining knowledge. Let us conclude with a brief listing of the important points. First, we should be ever grateful to the Acharya who is dedicating to teach the most valuable principles for us. Acharya will be taking a lot of pain, with a lot of efforts he may be teaching. So one should respect that aspect and be ever grateful to the Acharya. Second point, though the Acharya may be compassionate and merciful in answering our questions, one should not take it for granted that it is the Acharya's duty to simply answer all our questions. One should have the patience and respect for the Acharya's time, circumstances and so on, and be patient enough to wait for the Acharya to respond at his convenience. Third point, questions should not be raised just for the sake of gaining knowledge, but the ultimate aim should be to put things into practice. If the disciple is sincere, if he is caring towards the Acharya will automatically respond to any question posed by the Shishya. But if the Acharya senses that questions are just to challenge the Acharya or just to gain knowledge without thinking about the practical aspect of it, then he may not answer those questions. Next point, though in Shastram it is said that true knowledge leads to liberation, for prapannas, for those who are taking the path of Sharanagati, the knowledge gaining exercise is not done as a means of liberation. Rather, it is to understand the true nature of the self, to understand the true nature of Bhagavan, and to know how one should serve Bhagavan. And the time left in this samsara for such Sharanagata, for such Prapanna, must be spent usefully. So this knowledge acquiring is done with that intent only. Finally, we can never return the favor to those who impart us knowledge. Knowledge is not some commodity which we can purchase from store. So we must be always grateful to the Acharya and assist him in whatever ways possible. ஆழ்வார் எம்பெருமானார் ஜீயர் திருவடிகளே சரணம், ஜீயர் திருவடிகளே சரணம்.
To learn such valuable information about our Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, please download Koyil, K-O-Y-I-L app from Google Play Store or Apple App Store. Our website is koyil.org, Koyil.org.